the world is changing faster than ever. What used to take decades is now taking years or even months.
What you see right now is the illusion that people have had for many decades about the workplace being this secure place to work the rest of your life.
For the first time in the history of our nation, our children will not do as well as us.
We've seen our friends get laid off, we've been laid off, we've had our pay cut.
People are overworked and underpaid. They seem to have less time and less freedom. They live under constant pressure.
This is going to be forced. And so even if your employer loves you, they may have to cut you. There's something wrong that on Monday morning, the heart attack rate increases by 35%.
Technology is accelerating, job security is declining. It just doesn't seem like the old models of making a living are as reliable as they used to be.
Every aspect of our lives, there's a better way out there, but we're still doing it the old way.
We live in the greatest country on the planet, and there are a lot of people sitting around complaining and being cynical.
Like everyone's whining about this old model, and I'm like, why don't you leave it? Look at all this over here. Look at all this opportunity.
Since so much of our lives revolve around our work and the way we make our living, many people are thinking there just has to be a better way.
The biggest challenge facing our world today is not making money, is what are we going to do with all the displaced, unemployed people?
People are afraid that they're going to make the wrong decision. People are afraid of the unknown. People are afraid that maybe I don't have the skills.
Hey, sports fans, industrial age is over. It's dead. It's dying. That's why going to school to get a job is an obsolete idea. A steady paycheck is an industrial age idea.
Hi, this is Sandy Cohen, and on behalf of Eddie and I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to visit with me, and we appreciate both your time and attention. This message is actually intended to be an overview. You'll have lots of questions about Zango International, so be sure to jot them down and get the details from the person that invited you here. First, a little bit about who Eddie and I are. We're probably married more years than most of you are old. And my honey is a retired pharmacist. We're both graduates of Temple University in Philadelphia. Ed has a degree in pharmacy, and I graduated with a BS in education. Ed had 6 pharmacies, and in 1978, I started a medical and surgical supply business in the front of one of Ed's stores. And we built that to a multi-million-dollar business in 3 years. And we were living the dream. We had a 10,000 square foot home in suburban Haverford, Pennsylvania, a Rolls-Royce stretch limo, English houseman, cook from Grand Cayman. I thought I was set for the rest of my life and never thought it would all disappear. But as you know in life, the only thing that you can be sure of, change does happen. And in 1986, we sold the business to a group of private investors who defaulted and did not pay us. And so began an 8-year downward spiral while we were in a lengthy and very expensive lawsuit. And if you know anyone who's experienced a downward spiral, it usually gets worse before it gets better. So in the midst of all of this, we decided to move west. And we moved to Arizona to start our lives all over again. And 8 years later, we actually won in court. But the only winners were the attorneys. So we were dead right, dead broke, and over $450,000 in debt at the age of 52. Things were so bad that we couldn't pay both the telephone bill and the electric bill at the end of the month. But we were taking care of my mother at home with breast cancer and Alzheimer's and being diapered, tube-fed, suctioned, and on oxygen. And by law, they couldn't shut off the electric because she was on life support. So there we were, sharing a 9-year-old car with no air conditioning, where it gets to be about 110 degrees in the shade in the summer in Phoenix, with roll-up windows that if you put them down, we had to pull them up. We were living in a little apartment. I would go to bed crying. I woke up crying. I was looking for hope. There just had to be a better way. There had to be a way to get out of the mess that we were in. And we were not looking for riches. We were just looking for what Eddie and I call POM, peace of mind, so that at the end of the month, our bills were paid. And you know what? I knew working for someone else and building their dreams would not get our dreams back again. And we all know 9 to 5 is a Dolly Parton movie and not a way of life. So ask yourself these following questions. Do you wish you could sleep till you're done? Would you love the ability to eat in any restaurant you want and only look at the left side of the menu and not worry about the prices on the right? What if you never had to work for somebody else again? That you could control both your time and your finances. And what if the commute to your office was at home, just 20 seconds away? Well, you know, when I found out about the huge tax advantages of a home-based business, I was floored. I was totally shocked. Did you know the government actually wants you to be in business? And it's amazing how many people work at JOB and have no clue about the huge tax advantages just by having a part-time home-based business. And in reality, most people can save somewhere between $300 to $500 every single month, because there are actually 2 tax systems, both in the United States and Canada. There's the W-2 wage earner, and then there's the business owner. Most people don't realize the little criteria it takes to have those tax advantages. And I'm going to share those with you. One is that you must intend to be profitable. Doesn't state you have to be profitable. It says you have to have the intention. That's the key. In addition, you must work your part-time home-based business a minimum of about 7 hours a week. Not a day, but 7 hours a week with documentation. That's it. Now, let's take a look at some of the things that you're eligible for as a part-time home-based business owner. Because when you're an employee, these things are not deductible, and they all become legal deductions when you have a home-based business, and they amount to somewhere between $3,000 to $5,000 a year. So let's go over the things that are possible that right now, as an employee, you do not have as a deductible expense. So things like your cell phones, your mortgage, your rent, your car expenses, the car washes, the gas, the repairs, when you eat out, golf, movies, entertainment, medical expenses, travel. The list goes on and on. But did you realize that if you had a home-based business, that you'd have the exact same tax advantages of the big Fortune 500 companies? Pretty amazing. So let's talk a little bit about the write-offs that you're eligible for with your part-time home-based business. Not just your car expenses and wear and tear, but the mileage, setting aside what's equivalent to your kids' education, private school, college, weddings. You can deduct 100% of your medical expenses. How about fun, golf, entertainment, theater tickets, business equipment, new computers? You turn your vacations into tax-deductible events, and we teach you how to do that. You can create a retirement plan that beats any government plan, and so much more. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. And the person that introduced you to this short overview will be sure to get you the details on all the tax advantages direct from a certified public accountant, tax attorney, and former trainer for the IRS that you'll be able to take advantage of. So now let's talk a little bit about the vehicle that will help you create the lifestyle that you deserve. And the person that invited you here will get you the complete details of our compensation plan. And that's not the purpose of this overview, but let me share with you why Zango created the most million and multi-million dollar earners in the industry in the shortest period of time. Now, were you aware that thousands of companies have launched over the last 40 or 50 years, and only less than 60 have lasted 10 years or more? So why are so many people today looking for a safe, long-term royalty income without having to start over every 12 to 18 months, losing not just time, but credibility and, of course, money? Most businesses, not just network marketing, will never see their 5th birthday. Zango International is ground floor again, but without any risk. We just celebrated our 12th birthday, and now with our new enhanced compensation plan, which is the most generous in our profession, oh my goodness. And you know as well as I do that everyone says they have the best company, the best owners, the best product, the best comp plan, right? But we all know numbers don't lie. And our flagship product, our patented Zango Juice, sold $1 billion, that's a B, $1 billion in sales in the first 5 years, faster than Apple, Dell, Walmart, or even Starbucks. Yet most people still don't know about Zango International, the company that brought mangosteen to the world commercially. So ask yourself, how in the world did a product do $1 billion in sales, all by word of mouth? And that's an easy question to answer, because mangosteen is probably the most important botanical on earth. Thousands of scientific papers from universities and laboratories around the world. Just visit, when you have a moment, the National Library of Science, which is at pubmed.gov. Even Japan has recently created 2 cancer drugs from our beloved mangosteen fruit. Now, most companies say we pay up to 50%, or we pay as much as 50%, when in reality, the actuarial payout is somewhere between 28 to 42%. Out of the thousands of companies out there, I only know of one other company that pays a true 50% to infinity at the end of every month. Nothing carried forward into the company's bank accounts, but paid out to everyone who is eligible. Zango has no breakage like all the other companies. So I'm going to ask you a silly question. If you're going to go to work, ask yourself, would you rather be paid 28 to 42% commission or a true 50%? Silly question, right? Zango is now volume-based, no tough structure requirements like the other companies. So now, if somebody doesn't do anything or they don't order, all that volume on the team under them still counts for your rank advancement. And what's exciting, you can get to one of the higher ranks, premier level, with only 2 legs. We have a car bonus or a drive your dream, a lifestyle bonus at only $10,000 in total team volume. Now, if you decide you don't want to get a car, maybe you want to get a boat or a motorcycle, or you want to use that money for your children's education or for a wedding, Zango does not penalize you. You still get the full amount, unlike any other company that I know of, most of which will reduce your bonus. We're a 9-level unilevel, and I've done them all, and it's my favorite. Most unilevels only pay out 6 or 7 levels. So as you know, as you build your business, the deeper you go, the bigger it gets. And I challenge you to find anybody who pays 5% on the 9th level, yet alone to infinity. And this new comp plan that we've just recently launched has a customer bonus pool. They have distributor bonus pools, but I'm talking about customer bonus pools as well, so that it's, as far as I've seen, an amazing 5% for the new leaders coming in who haven't yet achieved the big ranks. In addition to that, we have worldwide global pools. So it's like profit sharing. So once you get to Premier and above, you share in the volume in the entire world. We have a program for customers called Nothing Beats Free. And to me, the only thing better than Zango products are free Zango products. We have a customer loyalty program where people are rewarded with vouchers to get more free product. We have what is referred to as dynamic compression, which means we pay to infinity at the end of every month. And we have amazing rank advancement bonuses, just about $200,000, plus trips and incentives and awards and so much more. So here we are. This is a photo of those of us who recently were at a convention, and we were recognized with the Million and Multi-Million Dollar Club. So there's a reason that Zango is going to break its own record, creating the most new millionaires in the shortest period of time. And with our new products and enhanced comp plan, we're going to do it even easier and faster. So really, all you need to do is make a decision if you want to be a part of the next wave of success stories. So yes, 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 it's safe to dream again. We serve others to help them get what they want, so we all win and we all live life as it should be. So you were really born to stand out. You were born with greatness. And we're going to help you every step of the way. And our mission statement with our training tools in Zango University, which is at xuworldwide.com, is one by one, no one left behind. And when we talk to people who've been in the network marketing industry, the primary complaint we hear all the time when I ask them, why do you think you failed? Universally, the response typically is, it was like the blind leading the blind. Not so in Zango. We have in the university over 30 active million and multi-million dollar earners teaching the skills that you need to accomplish your goals. And tied to Zango University is our marketing website, agiftfromus.com, that you get free as a scholar to the university. And here, Dr. J. Frederick Templeman, MD, who is also the leading researcher on mangosteen, explains our products that are so easy to sample. And you get this site free as a scholar to the university. So make sure you get back to the person that introduced you and invited you here, because everyone is born with greatness. God didn't make junk. So dust off your dreams and let us partner together to make a difference in the world. Thank you for spending some time with me.